homes. Here we go, very quickly. Number one, I'll have no other human relationship before my spouse, including the kids. You don't understand. They're my babies. They're everything. You know why that's a mistake? Because the healthiest thing you can do for your kids is show them what a godly marriage looks like. You can't do anything better for your children than exactly that. And that's my prayer every single day. I pray every single day that my daughter, one day when she steps out to date, to get engaged, to get married, she'll say, I know how a woman should be treated because that's the way my mom was treated. And listen to me, if you can't do that, hit the road, Jack. I want my son one day to say, my dad talked about how to treat a lady, but even more so, I watched it every single day. And I wanted to see that. I told the 9:30, I'll walk through and my wife would be in the kitchen and I'll just, pow! Come over here, you big lump of love. You know, she's just like, yeah, man. And my son's like, oh my gosh, on my knees. Some of you are like, call child services. That's not even normal to do. But I want him to see that. I want him to say, you know what, it's been 11 years. He doesn't understand it right now, he's too little. But when he's 12 or 13, I want them to say, you know what, man, my parents seem like they love each other. They don't just get by, they love each other. That's the healthiest thing your kids can have. Some of you can't do that because you're too focused on them all the time. I don't care about him. It's all about my babies. Okay? They're going to be just as warped as you are. Just saying it. I know it's not comfortable, but it's true. Got to love each other. Make your kids number 3. Wife being husband number 2. I shall remember dates and keep them holy. Listen to me. If you're married, you got to have a date night. You got to. Trent, but the kids... But my kids are only 1 and 2, and every time I leave, they cry. Listen to me. If you let them manipulate you when they're 2, they'll do it at 12. And I got a quick parenting advice for all of you. We have a lot of young families, a ton of young kids. There's 400 back there right now. Listen to me. It's very important. You got a choice as a parent. You can either be their parent now, and when they're older and move out, you'll be their friend. Or you can try to be their friend now, and when they're older and move out, you're going to have to try to be their parent the whole time. And I've seen it millions of times. I know I'm not there, but I'm telling you, I've watched it time after time. But Trent, you don't understand. Every time I try to, leave, and little Tommy comes up, and he's like, well, Mommy, you leave me, you don't come back. It's good to teach them we do come back. Right? Some of you don't want to, but it's good to show them, yeah, we're back. We didn't want to. You've got to go in sync on your kids. Bye, bye, bye. It's one of those deals. Chase taught me that in between. But it's true. You can do that. You got to be willing to say bye. Because that's not the most important thing. Number 3, I shall remember birthdays, anniversaries, and other special occasions so it may go well with me and that I may live a long time in the land that God has provided. Ben, listen to me. You got 5 biggies. 3 are staples. Christmas is every December. Mother's Day is every May. Valentine's Day is every February. You just got to figure out, put it on your phone, make it somebody smart call you. I don't know. Then you only have 2 unknowns. You have an anniversary and you have a birthday. Okay? You just need, I have them on my phone. It literally beeps. Beep, beep, beep. And it'll be like, John's birthday, 1 week. I'm like, yes, that's enough time. I forget again, it beeps in 3 days. Okay, it beeps the day before. I really got to do something now. Go and do that. But you got to do that. Remember those. You'll live longer, I promise. Number 4, I will always work on my marriage. Always. This is cheesy, and some of you who are miserable in your marriage are like, just wait till 20 years. That's the worst. You young people, listen to me. Don't find those people who keep telling you after a certain year it'll be miserable. When I was getting married, I promise, people were like, oh, it'll be great first year. After first year, it's awful. Then you talk to, same people, I'd be like, year 2, man, it's pretty good. I'm thankful. God, it's God, but I'm thankful for it. Oh, yeah, it's not too bad. 5 years, you'll be miserable. 5. Okay. After 5. At 10. I literally talked to someone just a few weeks ago and they're like, man, after 15, things fell apart. I was like, dude, I can't win here, okay? What do you want? You want me to just tell you things are miserable? What do you want me to do? People do it with kids. Don't have kids, it ruins everything. Okay? Well, that's jacked up. But you got to work. And I'll say this. My wife stayed home when our kids, before they started school, both of them, that was one of the things she just wanted to do. She was passionate about it. And I'm telling you guys, for that 5, 6, 7 years they were home, she was a stay-at-home mom. I promise you, in all those years, I bet I could count with my hand the times that I came home that she didn't run out the door and meet me when I opened my door. So excited. Now, part of that was probably she was in a house with 1 and a 3-year-old, and she just wanted someone who could respond. She'd be like, oh, I'm like, okay, good, you said a word that I understand. It might have been, but the truth of the matter, it takes work. It takes work. You got to work. Oh man, my marriage is perfect. Then you got to work at it. Bottom line. to work. Number 5, I shall not spend time alone with a person of the opposite sex. I am a freak about this one. A few weeks ago, we were at a hotel in Huntington. I was getting ready to walk on the elevator. I'm not making this up. John had already went up with the kids. There was a girl that came along beside me, and I looked at her, and I was like, I just forgot something. Sorry. She got in. Some of you are like, are you like this, like, is there kids in here? Are there kids? Say yes if there's a kid. I'll hold back. I warned you. I mean, you're like, are you like some weird hornball? It's not that. It's just this, and I know this. You cannot cheat on your spouse if you're never alone with someone of the opposite sex. You know what the statistics are? They're 100%. It's impossible. I have to at least be alone with someone to cheat with them. Unless you're in a really, really open marriage, like swingers. But the rest of you, it doesn't work. And I'll be honest with you, in 11 years of marriage, 11 years last month, I've been flirted with and someone has made a pass at me which insinuated, let's take this a step further, let's cheat 3 times. 3 times in 11 years. I won't tell you all the details. Sadly, because 2 of those were actually men. And I'm not making that up. Some of you are like, that's a joke. That's not a joke. One just happened last fall in Columbus. I was on a scouting trip, and I was at a restaurant, and the guy was like relentless. I mean, I was almost like, would it make you quiet if I just went home with you? I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. And my wife went home, and she's like, why didn't you get up and leave? And I was like, babe, I'm sorry, but that hamburger was so good. I was just taking it. Like, no. I mean, I don't need to go into details because it doesn't benefit anything, but I mean, he was like, I won't tell anybody. He was saying that stuff to me. Can I just see my hamburger, please? I have kids. Does that help? No, okay, never mind. He had a real nice place, though. No, just kidding. Number 6, I shall not talk about my spouse in a negative manner. Another thing, 11 years, in public, my wife, and I'm not saying she's the same, she's a great, godly woman. She is. But one thing she's done right, I've never heard her ever say anything negative about me in public. Never. Some of you men are here like, ooh, that would be nice. Some of you women are here, well, if you'd start doing something, don't. No excuse. Public is not the time to beat up or tear down your spouse. Guys will go, oh, gotta go home to a ball and chain, guys. You know what I'm talking about, right? Stupid. Don't do that. I shall never discuss intimate details, number 7, with anyone other than my spouse. Some of you women, you love going to, what he did, Or even better, some of you married women call your single friends, your single old friends. How dumb is that? Well, I tell you what I do. I know I'm 42 and single, but let me tell you what I do, okay? That's probably why you're 42 and single. Don't listen to them. Intimate details. I have an accountability partner, and I'll tell you guys straight up. Accountability partner, I share intimate things with. That's the person share, ask me questions. Hey, this week, how'd you do? Have you looked at anything you shouldn't look? I mean, all that. The very last question he hits me with, have you lied about any of the questions I just asked you? And there's some intimate kind of details with that one person, but it's nobody else. I don't go calling everybody else what's going on. Good move. Good move. Number 8, I shall not expose myself to sexual materials that would cause me to lust after others or devalue my spouse. Some of you, I know it's an addiction and I know it's hard to quit, but you got to. You got to. And number 9, I shall not confuse fantasy with reality. You know why the grass is greener on the other side of the fence? 1, because it's over a septic tank. It's not nearly as good as you think it is. And 2, you know why that yard looks so much better? Because you're not watering your own yard. When you combine those 2 things, oh, but that's so good. It's not. But when you neglect yours and just focus on that one, much better. Fantasy, reality. And the last one is this, and I'm going to spend just very quick a minute or 2 on it because it's the most important one. I shall remember, Commandment 10, the implications of breaking the 7th commandment. The 7th commandment in the Old Testament is you should not commit adultery. God said it's a good thing. You commit to a wife, you shouldn't cheat on her. Your wife should cheat on your husband. It's a good move.